evening, everyone, and welcome to another match in the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament Group Stage. I'm Leslie Pro, and I will be doing the commentary for tonight's matchup, which is Group G between TapatioJ and SDiezal. The flag set for both races will be Group 2, no end cards. Now, the records so far in group play, TapatioJ 3-1, while SDiezal at 0-2 is down but not out just yet. While Tapatio can lock up his place in the bracket stage with a sweep tonight, Diesel can set himself nicely with either a sweep or a split. And if he splits and then proceeds to sweep the Allen Heffley in a future match to be determined, then we will have a tiebreaker. And that would be hype. So chat, what world are we going to see first? Meanwhile, for those not familiar with SMB3 Randomizer, Group 2 basically shuffles just about everything between locks, levels, pipes, stages, and we have World 7 to start with 2 pipes on the island and an action scene panel that is not going to be picked. And that first pipe is a troll, as that is the pipe with a view, or as some will call it, the Kappa pipe. Ooh, 1 pipe to 2. We are definitely playing multi-door Monty here. Wow, pipe into pipe into pipe. Round and round we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. We're heading for a fort, and it's the World 1 fort, which SDiezal goes into. Tapatio hesitated. Was probably thinking, okay, maybe I'll fly to it. But either way, flight is not going to happen because that Starman completely took away what could have been a super leaf in this slot. So as a result, we're not getting an item here, and instead having to fight Boom Boom. Which is just a nice little 3 hits, and the lock that breaks from the World 1 port isn't one that's ever required, because the game's logic will always assume that you're gonna go for the item. Still searching for that answer. And our runners have been fairly consistent in the pipes. Now we get a bit of divergence. And Tapatio is going to play the first Piranha stage, while Diesel got turned all the way around, which is something that can happen very easily in the pipe maze. And our item is a mushroom, which may not seem like much, but you get a tough level, that could come in handy. And our second fort in World 7 is the Super Tanks. Normally you would see this right before Bowser's Castle, but not here, because the World 8 forts are also in the shuffle between the fort and the branches of Bowser's military. Although the tank stage, the regular army level, you could potentially see that as just a regular old level. Now we have Tapatio in the second of our Piranha stages, and through it just like that, while Diesel at Small Mario gets through nicely, and now we're on to the airship, where while the airships are randomized, you will see Ludwig von Koopa at its end, albeit a slightly different room. And Tapatio gets the fire kill on Ludwig von Koopa, burning the symphony. So chat, what world's gonna be next? And it's worth noting that this letter is going to be from Bowser Koopa himself, so as a result, that will be an item we won't know about until our runners open the menu. And it was World 2. Dulshguy called it in chat. We got a fort right in our way, and it's World 3F1, Door 6 fort. And no Door 3 from Tapatio. Loses the fire suit, though. Stops for a power-up. It was a 1-up mushroom, and he's like, nope. The pipes aren't going to be any help here in World 2, as we get 1-5. Generally, you start by sliding down the hill here. Our runners don't want to do that because they will take damage. As SDiezal gets through 3F1, and it's just the one. Whoa, that is a hammer suit that our runners got from the World 7 letter. Nice. But we are going to have to play a lot of levels here in this World 2, and that is 5-3. No choice but to go through it. This is one of the longest levels in the game that isn't an auto-scroller, which, speaking of, most of them are turned off except for 5-9 and a lost level that I'm pretty sure some in chat would love to see. Our runners would not want to see it. And there's an angry sun in this 5-3. Look out, those Paragoombas will drop through the floor. How they're able to do that? I don't know. It's a well-coded video game. SDiezal making his way through carefully. But that star will help finish up the level. Oh, and that was a great call by TapatioJ to go high, as that's a 6-1 with a Boss Bass ready to charge. And it's all Starmen in 6-1, so Boss Bass really not a problem. Unless SDiezal goes low, because if you go low here, you're gonna get gulped. Oh, that did not happen, thankfully. Now here's another level that would be nasty for Boss Bass to show up 2-3, but thankfully, not the case here. Oh, and the star runs out right on the same frame that Tapatio comes into contact with a Buzzy Beetle. Ouch, you hate to see it. Now, SDiezal, on the other hand, coming in as small, does have to be careful. So far, doing well. Who picks up the Buzzy Beetle shell and uses a bit of speed to get through the blocks faster. Similar to the red rocket strategy you see sometimes in the speedrun. And now we're into 3-7, a stage that some folks call jackpot because of the coin heaven that gives you an item at the end of this level. And despite being in great position to go for it, Tapatio does not go for it. Diesel does fight a Hammer Bro that gives a music box. Might see use for that. And Tapatio is about to take on said Hammer Bro. And the P-Wing Bro ran on Diesel in this world, so no fighting there. Now we're already in the airship, which is the World 6 airship. How do you like fighting Big Mouth, Morton Koopa Jr. on flat ground? Yeah, that's basically what this is. And that's it for World 2. Tapatio moving on. What world next, chat? I'm gonna go ahead and say World 5, because we went... Wait, was that an earthquake? Either way, Diesel through as well. Oh yeah, if you're facing 4 Koopas that call themselves the Koopa Bros, you're playing the wrong game. And it's World 6. And 3 pipes up front, will they be any use? Well, that could have been useful, but a bridge needs to be built. And there appear to be no forts in sight right away, so it's the Hammer Bros, and Tapatio just dispatches them very easily. And that's a hammer, which with this flag set can still break locks. Ooh, 2 forts in the way, and we start on Tapatio's side with 4F1. This is a fort where you can really pick your path, high or low. Oh, Diesel getting clipped by a tube sock. That's gonna cost him a bit of time, which is unfortunate, but it happens. It's Mario. Gets his revenge nicely, and is gonna get rewarded with the same hammer, while Tapatio, by taking the bottom route, which is the safer route, takes down Boom Boom with fire. By far, the fastest way to do it outside of the start. Now, is he gonna check the pipe? He is. Diesel's aware of this too. Does this build the bridge? No, it does not. It's the other fort that builds it, I believe. And that other fort is World 8 Fort, the Dark Door Maze. A fort that some don't like because of its length. Personally, I don't think it's so bad because you don't have to deal with piranhas over a flaming pit of lava. And Tapatio takes the damage boost, gets the 1 cycle, nicely done. Very well played, Dark Door Maze. Now, barring something silly, that has to be it, right? Unless there's another fort that we can't see. Nope, that's the bridge. And just like that, Tapatio is on his way out of the world. Diesel picking up a star for the gauntlet run to the end of Dark Door Maze. This is the World 4 airship, which... well, we'll see what happens. Tapatio goes for the second power-up. It is a star. And it's not a 1-hit shrimp, not a 2-hit shrimp. Hitboxed by the ball, and Iggy gets away. So that is a tough spot to get a hit. Not 3 hits. This is not a good spot. 4 hits in a tough fight. I tell you, that terrain for Iggy, the fire kill is much better. Statistically, especially since Iggy got away. But if you can keep Iggy in that corner, you're fine. And Diesel did come up with a cloud that Tapatio did not, so that could come into play later. And it's World 3. That is a 10 panel, which means there's only one fort in this world. And Diesel locks Iggy down nicely. Tapatio doing a turn back to avoid the fireworks, which would have been 5-up, which can be great if you're low in lives, but if you're pressing for time and are as confident and as good as Tapatio is, you don't really need him. Next up, the second level of World 3. Interesting. So it's almost a 2-stage lead for Tapatio, but for Diesel, that extra cloud could come into play, say, if Tapatio were to... Uh-oh, Diesel runs right into a red Koopa, back to start. That is a thing that can happen sometimes in 6-3. As Tapatio gets a star in 3-4, comes up short on the jump, but... thankfully, with a star, doesn't have to worry about any sort of enemies getting in the way. Diesel through second try and does not take the 5-up either. Three stages down this gauntlet. Now a hammer bro, a sledge bro that is easily dispatched. That's a hammer. Game! Our runners could have used that at the start of this world. Tapatio not going for double hammer is going to enter 2-1 Mortar Way. A very good stage for moving fast, but gets caught by a Paragoomba, loses the tail. Diesel taking it nice and slow, waiting out the Venus Fire Trap. While Tapatio is on the go. Nice move to dispatch the angry sun. Does get hit, avoids the attempted Paragoomba snipe, and is out of there. One stage left in this gauntlet. Uses a mushroom, and it's 8-2 with a boss bass. That makes Sands of Shame, as it's known, a bad idea. So Tapatio busts out the speed, turns on the afterburners, and is, for the most part, left Boss Bass in the dust. Has to be careful here, because Boss Bass does jump when you get close. Diesel taking a death in 3-4. And Tapatio just bounces off the note block and is out of there safely on the first try. And Diesel takes yet another unfortunate death. This would be trouble. Now we check a pipe. Let's see what this does. Puts us on the other side, but it also puts us right by the fort. Tapatio wants lay of the land. I don't blame him. And we know the correct pipe. Tapatio wants the fort. And misses the jump in 5F2, so that's Tapatio's first death. Gonna use a P-Wing, but it's gonna get used on a Hammer Bro, and that might have been a good thing, because that's a Fire Bro fight. That would have been nasty as Small Mario. Tapatio opts for the star here, which is a good way to get started in Sky. Oh, Diesel gets hitboxed by a Paragoomba! Extremely unfortunate, and without the benefit of early hammer, not able to do the double hammer to skip. Tapatio already in the pipe for Skyfort, and Boom Boom's about to get barbecued. Nice jumping by Diesel. Ooh, avoids the fireballs and gets the stomp on the Goomba, which delays the level clear by a bit, but he's out of there! TapatioJ with a run through 2-5, the home of the chain chomps, as Diesel enters 8-2. Let's see how he handles this setup. As Boss Bass on this stage. Oh, that's nasty. But what else is he? Wendy Okupa, and this setup is not going to be the easiest one in the world, as this is the World 7 airship. Those rings have less room to fly around here, which does make evasion much harder. Tapatio pulsing the jumps nicely with the P-speed, already through at impressive speed. Uh-oh. Takes a hit from the ring. See what happens. That's 3. That's 4. And Tapatio timed that extremely well to avoid taking damage. That would have been a death, for sure. And Diesel is gonna gamble that the fort is not required. I do like this aggressive play out of Diesel because he has to feel he's behind at this point. I do like the idea of second breakfast. Hey, chat, which world? And it's 5 at 5. Haven't we been here before? Just saying. And it is the Army stage to lead off World 5. This stage typically leads off World 8. There's a Hammer Bro at the end, and you get an inventory item. And it is a lock, which Diesel is going to hammer through. It's a Fire Bro down here, which Tapatio dispatches. Oh, Diesel misses the jump. He's out of lives. He's got to be careful here not to take a game over, because if he does game over, he starts at the beginning of the world and has to run that whole gauntlet again. And Tapatio has found one of the nastier stages this game has to offer. 7-8 Piranha Alley. Takes a damage boost to get through. Diesel's now working his way through. Now, if he were to game over, he'd have to play that 5-stage gauntlet again. And that would just be devastating. Whoa! Moon shoes. No, those aren't moon shoes that Wendy's wearing. She's basically stole Samus Aran's pumps. Diesel's through on last life. We shall see if he opts to take the game over to get his lives back, as the first level is the Army stage. And here's a twist. The tower is not required to get to the other side. And here's one of our beta levels. I haven't had a chance to mention this, but the beta levels are 9 levels that were in the game's original coding that Fred, our Randos creator, Rep Coughlin, was able to finish and make into actual levels. The 9th one I have a story about, but I'll save that when we get to it, as Tapatio is Up the Waterfalls, aka the TLC hit from the 90s. Now, 5-7. Back half of this level does get a little sketchy because a Lakitu pops up, and in this game, Lakitu is way more accurate, as Diesel comes up with a star. And Diesel not taking any chances, using the cloud to cloud what would have been Piranha Alley. here's 1-6 for Tapatio. Tapatio gets the P-Speed, which, when you have a tail, is fine. Now, SDiezal is charging through and takes the fireworks here to get his lives back. When you have 2 star cards, it makes taking a game over for lives not as likely, but that's just me. SDiezal in 5-7. Well, Tapatio is ahead at the airship. And Roy is a one-hitter. Oh, SDiezal missed the jump. That might have been a yummy input, folks. Alright, so we got worlds 1 or 4 left, chat. Which is it gonna be? I'm just gonna say 4 because, well, why not? I like yelling 4 on the golf course. I have no idea where that airship landed, to be fair. And there's a dad joke. See, F. Coughlin added a number of those. And it's World 4, which means World 1 is our last world. And the stage is 3-8, but occupied by a cheap instead of a boss bass. Must have been a pitching change today or something. SDiezal missed the P-Speed, so has to go back for what is often known as the Ride of Shame, but in Rando there really is no shame in it because of the randomized enemies. You just might have a problem called having the wrong enemy there and taking a very long drop. Tapatio's in 7-3, a stage that in vanilla you can run with the Starman, but when the power-ups are shuffled, you're not guaranteed to get that. And Roy is not our boy, as that was just a one-hitter. Tapatio goes for the P-Wing. It's 6F1, the escalator for it. And he drops down into the spikes for damage boosting strats. Not the double damage boost, but a single one. Looking for the star for the free orb. And it does appear, so Tapatio is going to have no problem taking out Boom Boom and then getting the orb. Now, it's worth noting that while the regular Hammer Bros fell asleep at the music box, the airship, or rather the coin ship, does not. Now, in the vanilla game, that appears in worlds 1, 3, 5, or 6, when your coins are total is a multiple of 11, and that number is the same number in your tens column. That's why speedrunners constantly adjust their coin counter while doing runs. And that's 5F1, round 4. And a common strat here is P-Speed, but with the randomized disco waffles, aka roto discs, that's not always possible. SDiezal taking the double damage boost, as Tapatio is out of ground 4. And Tapatio taking the exit from World 4. It is the World 1 airship, which, speaking of, we're heading there next. And, well, we got a Koopa Kid with a very weird hitbox. Actually, you can get hitboxed very easily in this game, but more on that later. Well, that was more of a getting hit with a hammer on Diesel's side. Gets a cloud. And with that, Tapatio is off to grassland. Now, one of the Hammer Bros that Tapatio skipped did have a cloud, so again, that could come into play for SDiezal. We have 3 forts here. We gotta play at least 2 of them. This map is a mess, but Fort Shuffle tends to do that with grassland anyway. And Tapatio leads it off with Spike Fort. Now, when I say you have to play at least 2 forts, I'm talking about the logical minimum. When hammers can break locks, that might not be the case. Ew! Diesel gets hitboxed by the Koopaling on the final hit. So, I was gonna explain how that happened later on. I was hoping to not have to until next race, but anyway, when a runner gets hitboxed, as Tapatio finds himself in the Navy, if an enemy jumps up at a rate that's fast enough to where the Nest hardware or the emulator or whatever detects where Mario's hitbox is in the enemy's hurt box, that's how the hitbox effect happens. Basically, for lack of a better term, Mario taking a low blow. As Diesel does get a screen wrap to get back 4 seconds that were lost. Now Tapatio is a third. And of course, it would have to be 7F2 to build the bridge. Damn! Although for Tapatio, this stage is not so bad as he's normally good with using the super lead to knock these piranhas out of the way. Did get caught this time, and the Tunnel of Love is just being rude. I mean, they do call it the Tunnel of Tough Love for a reason. Tapatio's through the scary part, and that's the lava pit section. Just about everybody I know who's not in this tournament who plays Mario 3 to some form or fashion has 7F2 as their least favorite fort, possibly their least favorite stage. Tapatio is through. Tapatio getting aggressive, opting for both clouds. And would you look at this? Diesel's picked correctly. If he uses the hammer on the lock, then he makes up a large amount of time versus Tapatio, who played an extra 4. Oh, and with this being the world, Diesel getting a better... I was about to say Diesel got a better break on the Tunnel of Love, but then got hit shortly thereafter. Now, what makes 7F2 so scary is that your movements really have to be precise, because a missed input, a missed jump, a missed time jump, a jump that went too long, you could be easily in a lava pit. It is a very unforgiving level. And Diesel gets through it a little faster than Tapatio, as Tapatio is through World 7 on to World 8. So chat, how many bridges are we going to have to build? 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4? Part of me does want to see the 4, but I'm going to say 2. This is where Diesel can make up a lot of time, as Atlantis is the first stage of Dark World. Tapatio does not have a cloud. He got aggressive to get through to the end of World 1 and is paying the price right here. I do like the more aggressive plays sometimes, but that's called living in the high-risk district. And high risk, high reward. Sometimes you wipe out horribly. Tapatio does not want that super leaf. I don't blame him. Now you can't be too quick into this pipe or else you can get crushed. Diesel ups for 1 cloud instead of 2. That is going to bring him back with a massive time save versus Tapatio, who goes into the fort, and it's 6F2. If there's a fort where you want a tail, it's this one, because you can do a strat called 6F2 fly, which is it's a strat that's scary. Your inputs have to be tight to get the full fly, because if your inputs aren't tight, you gotta pull up or you're taking a death because your jump being too short. And at this point, we don't know what 6F2 opens up, but I'd be willing to bet that since it's right here in the front, Diesel's probably going there first. With 1 pipe, 1 place to go, and then after this, who knows where we go. The hand bridge, and it looks like the rest of the forts are there. Tapatio wants a lay of the land, and I don't blame him. Diesel clouds Atlantis, and then he takes the pipe to save it, and it's a 2-bridge screen for Bowser's Castle, 6F2 being one of the required forts. What's the other one? I don't know. Tapatio just got grabbed by a hand, and he doesn't want it. Now, the reason I said 2-bridge is because Tapatio did the fort, made one of them, and Tapatio's found the other hand stage. It is 5-4 intro to Skyland, and Tapatio's just gonna take a 100-coin fine to get on out of there. Tapatio has found his way over to what is the Air Force icon. It is 4F2. Interestingly enough, the World 4 forts, as well as the World 7 forts, were not paired up. So at this point, it truly is anybody's race. Diesel's gonna charge ahead. And the blocking stage, blocking the other 2 forts, is 1-2 with a boss bass. But, did Tapatio play the right fort, or has Diesel got the right fort in front of him? Tapatio's gonna check the pipe. Moment of truth. Or he just took the wrong pipe. That happens to. Or did he take the right pipe? Nope, he took the wrong pipe, got turned all the way around! So Diesel's in Air Force. See, World 7 as well as World 8, when pipes become required, you can get turned around very easily. And it was not Air Force. It was the panel that was Air Force that was the correct fort, and TapatioJ is moments away from taking Game 1. It's the first clip. And Diesel's gonna wind up playing all the forts here as he's now in 6F3 Carpet Fort. Tapatio goes for the clip, misses it, continues onward, and And this is where it gets interesting, because the fireballs are randomized, and sometimes they go invisible. Why? I'm not sure. Fred's done a lot of work behind the scenes to minimize it. The Tapatio is through. Hi, Bowser. Bye, Bowser. Get your GGs in chat for TapatioJ, who with a very impressive run is gonna take game 1 with an official racetime.gg time of 38 minutes 33 seconds. For SDiezal, he just has to find the right way to get to the Air Force panel, and he'll be on his way. And Diesel almost brought it all the way back by clouding Atlantis, but at the end of the day, one way, Tapatio went the other way, and it was the way Tapatio went that turned out to be the correct way. And Diesel's gonna frog suit 4F2. Okay, this I appreciate for the memes. Trades it in for a Super Leaf. With this level, I don't blame him. Meanwhile, Diesel is now finding his way back. And Diesel's now in Bowser's Castle. This was a very good race that, like I said, came down to which fort or forts do you do. Diesel went with the odds, but sometimes you go with the odds and it just doesn't work out. To answer a question in chat, no, the flames cannot be dealt with the tail at all. Diesel's trying to clip through because that gauntlet can get nasty. And he's gonna take on the gauntlet, which is not a bad call here. Because as we saw from Tapatio's side, the gauntlet wasn't really that bad. And on Diesel's side, hi Bowser, bye Bowser. Get your GGs in chat for SDiezal. We put on a heck of a race, and I'm looking forward to this next seed. That's going to be starting in a few minutes, because this was a great race. The next one's going to be just as good. And Diesel has finished with an official racetime.gg time of 41:32.5. And with that, we are going to take a few moments to set up for the next race. So in the meantime, we will be on a brief intermission, but we will be right back. Thank you all for tuning into tonight's race. We've got one more to go. Stay tuned, folks. This is going to be fun. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament Group Stage. This is a critical matchup in Group G. As for SDiezal, if he wants a chance to make brackets, he must win this next match in order to set up a scenario with his remaining opponent. On the other hand, if TapatioJ wins this, that's all she wrote for Group G. We'll know who will be moving on for sure. And once again, I am Leslie Pro, and I will be commentating us through this second half of the doubleheader. Yeah, this is a very good matchup, Paradox. The first race was really close. I'd go back and watch it for sure because it would. Diesel almost had to come back, but the great equalizer said no. So, what world are we going to get to start us off in World 2? And it's the same flag set as the first seed, Group 2, no win cards. Let's go. I'm just going to say reverse world order, just for the heck of it. Because I have a bit of a story with that, which, long story short, I was on the call with LOZ Cards Fan 23 last tournament when we had Vanilla World Order. And the seeds tonight were also rolled by yours truly. And speaking of, a World 1 with 2 locks, starting with 1-5, this could get... Thankfully, it didn't get as ugly as I thought it would, because that can be surprisingly tough. Especially with those Karibo Goombas jumping at you while you're just trying to maneuver down the hill. Yes, we'll be seeing that reverse world order on another day of the week. And leading off our forts is 5F1 ground fort, which without a power-up, P-speed strats are a little more dicey because all it takes is one wrong disco waffle and you could take a dab. Diesel's getting through slightly faster and is pulling a bit of a lead on TapatioJ here. Yeah, the way sliding gets taken into account here is that certain enemies can be defeated with a slide, others can't. And our next stage is 5-8. Now, a little history with this stage is that Nintendo Power Magazine stated that you can't get through this stage without getting hit or getting P-speed. Well, SDiezal just proved Nintendo Power Magazine wrong. And yes, I had a subscription to that back in the day, but I did not have the Mario 3 issue. So it goes. Anyway, here's 1-6 in the 1-5 spot. This stage can be tricky when you get these patterns like with fire chomps and fire snakes. So caution is strongly recommended. And TapatioJ's taking flight here. Diesel does not have a tail, so can't do that, but as a result of taking flight, does take a slight lead on Diesel. We'll see how this play is out. And we get 7-9 with a boss bass. Diesel going to take the inner route. But with a tail, TapatioJ is just going to fly up and over. I like this strat a bit more, is Diesel cannot grab the block. Now, those blocks count as an extra sprite when grab. So if you have too many enemies on screen, you're not going to be able to grab those blocks. And it's worth noting that Boss Bass, because no one killed it, becomes a factor at the end of the level. And that Boss Bass being there, no clips for you. And due to having a tail, TapatioJ got through the stage much smoother and faster than SDiezal. The reminder, needs this win in order to stay alive for the bracket stage. Get the World 4 airship to start us off. Diesel is dealing with something the Sledge Brothers do. And speaking of, we got a thick Koopaling. 3-hit Quaker, 4-hit Earthquaker. Whew, Larry packed on the pounds today. I like to switch over to the tail here by Diesel because that just enables you to get to the pipe faster. See chat 185-3, and we get 3. With 3 stages up front, then we hit the pipes, starting with 4-6. And with giant enemies, you are not going to see boss bass unless it's 4-2. For some reason, that's still able to happen. And when that does happen, the sprites glitch. It's one of the few remaining instances of sprite glitching in this rando. That Tapatio is through. And we got Atlantis, and we got a... Wait, Tapatio is taking the 100-coin fine. Does he have a cloud? No, he does not. So that 100-coin fine's gonna cost him in time. So our runners have absolutely no choice but to play this level. Unlike last seed where Diesel was able to cloud it, that is not an option. So, and it's worth noting, with that hit that Tapatio just took, if you're underwater, coming into contact with an enemy is very damaging. So Tapatio has to be extremely careful here. Diesel hits the water. Because of the forced auto-scrolling nature of this level, you gotta be careful on when you jump, as a Paragoomba gets bulldozed by the shell, or as it's called in SMB1's manual, shell-dozed. Now, what I didn't notice in the heat of last race is that there are 2 stages that remain auto-scrollers in this rando. Atlantis is one of them. The other being 5-9, Diagonal Doom. Also worth noting, if a Paragoomba gets wet, it's not going to take off again. And our next level is a beta level. This is the 3-9 beta. Uh-oh, look out, fire munchers. Rather, fire nippers. Those things are scary. So the term shell doze basically comes from the shell dozer strat used in SMB1 and Diesel, having to dance with a devil that spits fire. And he's out of there. We found the correct path, but now we just need the correct fort as a lock is in the way. And we get another P-Wing from the first Hammer Bro, which was in Tapatio's way. Let's see what this fort is. It is 6F2. This would have been a good stage to use that P-Wing for an easy 6F2 fly, relatively. But if you get hit over those pits, you're taking a fall. Oh, and Diesel goes face first into the fire, bro. Opts for the star this time. Gets it done, gets the P-Wing, moves on. It's Tapatio. It's Boom Boom. Loses the fire suit, so he's going to lose a small amount of time here. As Diesel enters 6F2 as small. Gonna take it carefully here. And our next airship is the airship for this world, so you're still gonna have to deal with... Oh, that is a hitboxing and a half that Tapatio just took. That was rough. Yes, chap, it is. Let's see, this one is a 1-hit, a 2-hit, a 3-hit. Tapatio almost got hitboxed there, but he's out of there. Diesel's definitely getting the better of the World 3 airship here, so he's making up a bit of time here. As Peach opts to rickroll in the letter. And nicely done against Wendy Okupa by SDiezal. As we start off World 6 with 2-2, the Desert Oasis. And a lot of lag, as the enemies that randomize underwater can oftentimes generate lag, and you hate to see that, folks. And it's oops all P-wings for Tapatio. So instead of the hammer bro, opts for the pipe. And we're gonna see a P-wing in use here as it's 7F2. We just can't seem to avoid this fort now, can we? Now Tapatio, as I alluded to in the first race, is normally good at dispatching piranhas with the tail when necessary, but with the P-wing, that no longer becomes a thing. Oh, that was a dangerous play. Opts to just damage boost through the Tunnel of Love, which is a very understandable strat because that's one place where it can get ugly in a hurry. It's either wait it out 10-20 seconds for your opportunity to go through without getting hit, or a damage boost. And speaking of, damage boosting through the booze, another good strategy here. And Diesel is right behind Tapatio into 7F2. And that did open the way. No hammer, so we gotta play it. And it's into 7F1, Fort Knox. A stage that does require flight in order to proceed. So as a result of that, this is one level where none of the power-ups are randomized. And Diesel taking an unfortunate hit there, so now cannot damage boost through this gauntlet section of 7F2. It's one hit on Boom Boom, 2, and out as Tapatio approaches the 7F1 Boom Boom. And that's that. Boom Boom down, not once, but twice. And Diesel's gonna P-wing into 7F1. This is gonna save him some time, folks, as you definitely need to fly here. And it looks like the fort to proceed is Carpet Fort. Very close to where it is in vanilla. Chat, I think you know what to do. And Diesel's out of there. Tapatio's just waiting for the Carpet Fort elevator. And having a staring contest with some hot feet. Some of them, and 2 of them are of the old variety that will keep moving even when Mario is looking at them. And Tapatio not chancing it whatsoever with clearing out all 3 forts. It's the World 1 airship. Gonna go for the fire kill here on Iggy, and we got some burnt shrimp. And no, I'm not referencing Dragon from Super Metroid. That's a whole nother game, whole nother rando. So chat, what world are we getting next? That's a fire kill for Diesel. It was definitely more than one hit, as he got the stomp and then finished the job. It's World 4 with 4F1 right in the front. Tapatio breaking out the P-Wing strats here, which is great until the P speed runs out. And right now, Tapatio is about a 4F1 ahead, which isn't much here. We've already seen one required auto-scroller. Will the other make its presence felt? Now we have something we did not see at all in the first race, and that is a hand level. These 3 short levels all have an item at the end. They will always be the same item per seed, and today it is a music box. Which, if you're trying to keep Hammer Bros from moving around and getting these gross large movement numbers, great item. But if you're trying to fight them, not so much. Surprised neither runner opted to use the initial music box there, because that would have kept the Hammer Bros from moving. I almost said Koopalings, as Tapatio gets a cloud from the coin ship, with our next sport being 4F2. Emotes just changed over, folks, so bear with me. And we're through 4F2. And Tapatio is going to take a swing at one of the Hammer Bros. Gets a star for his effort, which could help. Diesel is not going to bother with any of it, so he's going to take a small lead, but Tapatio has an extra cloud. Which could help to avoid a nasty level later on. However, Tapatio is literally right on Diesel's heels, who takes a hit, but cleans it up nicely. This is basically within a 5-second difference here. I'm going to base it off end of cutscene, which for Diesel is Fade Out 1746. 1748, about 2.5 seconds. Wow. This is razor thin margin, folks, so stay tuned. We get World 2 next, and the pipes aren't much help here. And Tapatio pulls ahead because he didn't go down the pipes. Diesel did. That might have been muscle memory, and we are getting no door 3 attempts here. So for those not in the know, the door 3 glitch is a 1-frame trick you can do to get up into Boom Boom's room a little faster. It's really cool when you pull it off, but the timing, like I said, it's frame perfect. It's a frame perfect up input, but when you get it, it just feels so good. No hammer for Tapatio. Or for Diesel. Gonna take on the Hammer Bro to see if maybe we get an early hammer. But gets caught as that's Fire Bros. Not an easy Koopaling fight to go into without a power-up. Koopaling, I meant Hammer Bro. Oh, and it's just a music box anyway. Tapatio just grabs the orb from standing on the block. I see that swag there. I do that sometimes myself, so I'm one to talk. And Tapatio is just going to Starman through the Fire Bros to get another music box. And music box gets used to shut down the other Hammer Bros from moving. I mean, I guess they are technically Koopas in the new Super Mario games, where you have enemies roaming around the overworld freely. Anyway, this is 2-4, the home of the Boomerang Bros, but with randomized Hammer Bros within themselves, you could get just about anything. As Diesel's next stage is the same, it's 2-4. Oh, and that Paragoomba just flaps up and gets up. Uh-oh, that's 7-5. And Tapatio wants no part of this level. I do not blame him whatsoever. He's going to go the other way after the 100.5, which is... And he enters 7-1 small. Talk about a series of unfortunate events. And he's going to take another 100 coin fine. This one is for a power-up for sure. But all he has are P-Wings. That's not good for clipping, so he's going to Cloud and then P-Wing. And it's 4-3, a very good level to P-Speed through, while Diesel's just going to play 7-5. Uh-oh, this is where things get a little... Oh, and Diesel got barbecued! That was a fire nipper, and it caught him. He's definitely going the other way now, and now he's going to see the bad news. That's 7-1. And he's also taking a 100 coin fine here. Probably going to go to the Toad House for a power-up here, because whatever power-up is there will help with potentially clipping. Fire Flower. Good choice. Doesn't quite get it first couple of attempts, but he gets it on the third try. That'll help mitigate the time loss for sure. Indeed. He's keeping it moving nicely. And now we've only got worlds 5 and 7 left. Let's have it be 5 so we get both of the routing worlds back to back. I mean, in a way, World 5 can sometimes be that way, but it's not often. We get a hammer, and we have it set up to where we have a lock on the ground, and we need to build a bridge, and we have the army level to start World 5. This happened last C2, by the way. Just wanted to point that out. So, we are going to get an item at the end of this level. It's going to be the same item for Diesel. It's just a question of what this item will be. A hammer suit. That is gonna be huge for down the stretch. And now our next level is 610. If you were Small Mario... No, this is 6-9, excuse me. This is a level where Small Mario, there's a setup where you can do a wall jump to go up and over the stage. Which, when you do it, it feels so good, and it's a lot of fun. If you can do it. Now, unfortunately, Tapatio took a hit, so grabs the star, but is small. Even if you're using a Starman, you can still go into a pipe just fine. And the fort we gotta play is the Air Force, which, well, they are taking off into the dark skies. And Tapatio's taken 2 hits here. He used a P-Wing, got rid of it, and then took a hit as Super Mario as SDiezal gets the hammer suit from the end of Army. SDiezal got an awfully long movement pattern on those hammer bros. And SDiezal's going for the wall jump. This is at the first try. This is at the second. I honestly have trouble getting it with large Mario. Small Mario, a bit easier. A P-Wing is generally the quicker option. Guess what? You don't have to play the other 4. Which is what you love to see. Tapatio not interested in the coin ship, instead goes into 7-3. Nice snipe of that Paragoomba on the fireball. SDiezal's now in Air Force. And Tapatio's out of 7-3. SDiezal's moving very well through this Air Force section. While Tapatio's now on the Skyland airship. So, Bully, Roy Koopa, is going to be in very familiar territory here. And speaking of familiar, how about an earthquaking Bully? 3 hits. 4 hits. It's a 5-hit Earthquake Bully. Roy really hit the gym tonight, folks. Now, SDiezal has to play the coin ship because it wound up in his path. Tapatio did not, so this is an item that SDiezal's going to get whether he wants it or not. For SDiezal's sake, he needs it to be something good. It's a star, so not really helpful. As helpful as it could have been, and yes, I will have what he's having. Here we are, World 7. 2-pipe Monty and a fort in front. Tapatio goes for the fort, and we are, once again, in the Navy to help us sail through this pipeline. Just like that, it's 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, boom, boom's done. And the pipes are set up in World 7 as well as World 8, logically, for the world to be beatable. Oh, and SDiezal overshoots the jump in 7-3. Now take a P-Wing into the level, which isn't a bad call. Yeah, but those colors, while Diesel's Mario may look like Waluigi, or did look like oh, there's the required path. We did not need the fort at all. So it's a very quick World 7 for Tapatio, who has to clear this, and then he'll be on his way to the Valley of Bowser. Yep, basically a free World 7, which doesn't happen very often, but when it does, feels good. As Diesel takes on the 5-hit Earthquaking Roy Koopa. Do not get stun locked, because if you get stun locked here by the Quake, which happens if you're on the ground at the same time the Koopaling lands, here we go for the endgame. How many bridges, folks? I think this time we're gonna see it. The all 4. The all 4 bridges. Put your hammers away. Ever danced with a Koopa in the Pale Moonlight? Nope, it won't be 4s. There's a lock, a hand stage, and a fort. It's 2, 3. But with, I was gonna say, with this being the only level in the way, well, Tapatio really wanted no part of it. Takes a 100 coin fine to get out of the level. Uses the pipe as a save point, and it's Spike Fort. Power-up is another Super Leaf, so Tapatio doesn't have P-Wing, but still opts not to take off, as you do have a small window of flight that you can get without hitting the spikes at the top of the ceiling, which you can't see, but if you fly up high enough, they're there, trust me. That doesn't deal with a lock. So that was definitely somewhere else. Could have been a bridge, could have been a lock. I have no way of knowing. And there goes the lock. As Diesel's on the airship in World 7. Well, it's either going to be one bridge or none. And it's Escalator Fort 6F1. And the star did not jump to Tapatio, so unfortunately, gonna have to damage boost. Winds up doing that once. I don't think that was a damage boost off those dry bones, however. And Ludwig von Koopa has got moon shoes. Look out. And with that, World 7 is done for Diesel. And with that, it is off to Valley of Bowser, Darkland, however you want to call it, go for it. That's a lock with now the Dark Door Maze as the Navy tile. How this wound up in World 8, I have no idea. Oh yeah, Randomizer. No hand for Diesel. He's just gonna go right for the fort, right for Spike Fort. And no quick strat here. Rather, no one cycle for Tapatio, so this time has to hit the P-switch a second time, which does cost a bit of time here, but with how well Tapatio plays this level, as well as the vast majority of this game, it's not that much of a difference. Because Diesel did opt for the flight strat in Spike Fort. There goes another lock, and And this is where a Cloud in World 8 can come in handy, as that 8-2 panel gets skipped. And that was the way to go. It is a one bridge World 8. And with that, Tapatio's on his way. And Diesel's right there too! Holy cow, folks! Hold on to your seats, it's gonna be a tight finish! It could all come down to the clip. Tapatio misses it first try. Diesel gives up on the earlier clip. Tapatio on the more important clip goes for Gauntlet. And loses the hammer suit. If Diesel clips it, he's got it. And he gets it first try! Coming from all the way back. If he can get the hammer kill. But it depends on the pounds. Hi, Bowser! Bye, Bowser! SDiezal has pulled off the equalizer in World 8 as it's 2 stomps away for Tapatio, but he is going to run out of time. Get your GGs in chat. Holy smokes, that was incredible! That ending was bonkers, as I have the times 35-34 for SDiezal, 35-52 for TapatioJ, an 18-second difference at the end. He came back because he hit the right fork and the right pipe. World 8, known as the Great Equalizer, has struck. I want to see if we can get both runners in here for an interview, because that was incredible. And Paradox64 is right with that win. SDiezal still in the game for a tiebreaker race. Oh my goodness! Gonna see if we can get them both in here, so stand by, folks. And And SpeedGaming 6, thanks for the raid. An incredible finish has just happened within the past few minutes. Now, chat has corrected me on something here. I miscalculated. I'll get back to that in a second. As we are now joined by both SDiezal and TapatioJ. GG to the both of you. Oh my goodness, that World 8 in the second race was unbelievable.
No, GG's, man.
GG Tap. Yeah, I can't wait to go back and watch that one.
I'm guessing I played the extra fourth on the hand bridge and didn't get the clips, and that's what cost me. That's what I'm gonna guess.
Not necessarily Tapatio. It was a number of different factors. The first one in World 8 was that you got grabbed by the hand. Sure, it was 2-3, but Diesel did not get grabbed. And then Diesel managed to find the right pipe just a bit faster to where he was coming in Bowser's Castle in like 5-10 seconds of you. Then you lost the hammer suit. He didn't.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just couldn't get the clip. Unfortunately, yeah, that didn't work out first one either, but there were just so many fireballs in that next room that I was like, I couldn't even keep it. There wasn't even
I'm not gonna lie, Tap. So I got the clip, and without that, you definitely would have won because, yeah, the fireballs in that room usually give me trouble.
I mean, I saw how close we ended to each other. I'm like, yeah, that cost me at the end. I mean, that's just one thing right there. Yeah, it's frustrating, unfortunately. Like, because that clip's just been been giving me trouble. I got the first clip in the first race, and then it just like nothing.
Yeah,
nothing in that one.
Yeah, I got super lucky. So yeah, GG.
Yeah, nah, it's fucking. It was close, very close. GG.
Very close. Yeah. In the first one, the first race definitely, like I was saying in chat, that World 3 was rough, and just I think I had at least 3 deaths in those first 4 stages alone. Like I was just, I just want to get through these stages and get through this world, and like I was just, it was definitely rough in the beginning, but it wasn't too bad in the end.
Yeah, that World 3 and Seed 1 was definitely brutal because, like, the hammer didn't show up. Tapatio got an earlier hammer, I should say. Opted to hold on to them, though, so...
Yeah, I had one, and it just with one more, it would have made it so much better. But
at that point, it was like we were already 3 stages into that 5-stage little section right there at the beginning of World 3. I was like, I'll just play the next 2 because 2 hammers for 2 levels is usually like that's a pretty, like, if I have a lot of hammers, I'll go for that. But we were pretty resource empty at that point, and it was early, so I'm like, I'll hold these for now. Yeah,
100%.
That was now I gotta say that was an incredible showing. However, with the first win, Tapatio, you locked in your ticket to the bracket stages. Diesel, you still got one more set of races to go. So, to Tapatio, congratulations on making brackets. As Diesel, that was a heck of a finish to this race. That was incredible. And I'm looking forward to at least your final set of matches against the Alan Heffley.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, GG to Tap. And yeah, for sure. I just need to hopefully get a good average time for the end of it. But, I mean, it's a pretty good races so far. Nothing really too bad.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Absolutely.
No, that was those were not the fastest seeds ever for sure. Those were a little tricky at parts. So it was.
That first one was like pulling teeth at some points, man. It was just like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
My seeds have a tendency of being like that. My apologies there.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's been the World 8s. The World 8s have been getting me all tourney long. I don't know if I've played a good World 8 so far. Honestly, in any of my races. It's been rough.
Same. It's been World 8 and World 3 for me. Both of those have been my Achilles heel lately. Yeah. And just gotta hope for the best once you get there and hope that you're in a good situation to plow through it. Like lately I've just been like, if I see a fort, just do it, like right away. If it's in my way, just do it, and then hope that it pays off in the end.
Yeah, I feel like that's, I mean, did you do any of the handbridge forts?
I did, I believe. I think I did both of them.
You did both. Wow. Okay. Wow. I was like, I might have wasted time there, because then I finally got to the Bowser screen. Bowser's, castle screen.
I want to say I did both of them, because I know the first one was a regular stage. It wasn't a fort. And then I was like, all right, well, more than likely, I'm going to have to do these other two. So I just went ahead and knocked them out while I was there. Like anytime there's a fort in the handbridge area, it's like, oh well, shit, I guess might as well do it now.
Yeah, there was that was an interesting looking handbridge. I didn't like the look of it at all, but pretty much just plowed through it. It
was not a good look.
I don't think either handbridge looked pretty, to be honest.
Yeah, they were a little dicey.
Alright, and with that, any final thoughts from either of you? Because we just had a very thrilling doubleheader with a very thrilling finish. One of the best finishes that I've been a part of.
Oh, that's awesome. No, it's just I knew coming into the match with Tap that it would be it would take everything I had. So I'm glad they were good races, and I'm excited to go back and watch them. Tap, good luck in the brackets, dude.
Thank you, man. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, great races. Leslie, thanks for calling the match for us.
Thanks for comms.
And SpeedGaming, of course, for hosting us for the 4th year in a row. It's awesome to kind of have a home for the randomizer attorney. So look forward to we'll see. I mean, bracket that's gonna be tricky. I don't know. I like it. I hopefully I start playing better World 8s, because I don't think I can get away with it if I keep doing what I'm doing. I feel like literally in that second race, I felt great about just about everything. Maybe the end of World 2, because we had that terrible. It was either 7-5 or the clip, which I didn't have a mushroom or anything. I was small Mario, so I actually clouded past that section.
Oh, dude, I actually didn't have anything either, and I went to the mushroom house just to get a power up to do the
That's not a bad call. I would have had an extra cloud. That was the case. We ended up getting a cloud. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one to look back at. But GG's, and I look forward to hopefully catch some more. I'll have to try to hop into the comms booth myself. I haven't been able to do so far this tournament, so I might be able to jump in now that my matches are over. Got another week for the group stage here, so
yeah, I know I got to get going on mine. But this was actually the first chance that I could jump into the commentary booth.
Oh, awesome.
With other commitments, and honestly, this was a thrill and a pleasure to be able to commentate this race.
Absolutely.
Well, good stuff.
And with that, before we get out of here, the races that we have on the docket tomorrow are as follows. There could be more. 2 o'clock, the Bagler versus Disaster Caddy on SpeedGaming. And then at 6 o'clock, also on SpeedGaming, Glutamic Acid versus Stewie Cartman. Both of those are going to be fun. You don't want to miss those. And also, the true stars of the show tonight were the runner. So give them a follow, TapatioJ and SDiezal. They both do a lot of great stuff, and they put on a fantastic show tonight with an absolute highlight reel of a finish that had to be seen to be believed.
Yeah,
and if you feel like it, you can also toss a follow my way. I do a number of different randomizers as well as some other random stuff. And with that, I'd say it's just about time to wrap things up. Any final words?
Nope. GG on everybody, and thank you, Leslie, for the cons, and GG Tap. Appreciate it.
Yeah, GG's, man. That was a good one. Hope everybody has a great rest of their Saturday night. And yeah, looking forward to some great matches coming up.
As am I. And also pay attention to the schedule because more matches will be getting added as the week progresses. So with that, that's going to do it for us here at SpeedGaming. For our runners, SDiezal, TapatioJ, and everybody behind the scenes at SpeedGaming, I'm Leslie Pro. Watch out for Boss Bass. Stay calm, stay strong, and stay true. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Goodbye.